We're back for some more action from the Autobrite Direct Touring Car Legends series. Today we're in an equally famous circuit for round number 3 of the championship. We're at Le Mans on the Bugatti circuit. This 2.4 mile circuit opened in 1962, hosted the French Grand Prix back in the day, but today it plays host to some brilliant touring car action. At the top of the championship, it's an Alfa Romeo 1-2, and both of them are from the same team. SLR Machine Head and SLR Lancer seem to be the ones that are going to be fighting it out over the championship. Brad Stig is first of the Fords, in third place with Faster Alex after his win at Bathurst not too far behind. Smokescreen, Carlton Ben and Night Mike are all really close, with Kidders, Nova and Celtic Fox rounding out the top 10. Before we go racing, let's take a look at this circuit. On board round 4 winner, Faster Alex. So down the main straight, start the lap here at Le Mans. Move over to the left hand side, use all of that curb on the entry, try and maximise the speed through this corner. Down into the braking of the first chicane, the famous Dunlop chicane. Use all the curb on the way in, all the curb in the middle, all the curb on the exit to maximise your run under the infamous Dunlop bridge. The Circuit de la Sarre sweeps over to the left and then sweeps to the right. We've got a right hand hairpin heading onto the Bugatti circuit. It's a really long corner. You need to try and be patient to get the power down so the rear end doesn't step out on you. Clipping the curb ends up with the car sliding out, a little bit like Alex has just done there. Now we're heading down into another hairpin. So right on the outside, don't use too much of the track on the exit. It really suckers you in by being a little bit wider, but you want to try and get the power down as early as you can and run it out towards that white line. Now we've got a double right-hander coming up to move the car over to the left-hand side. In the wet, there's a line that runs right across this track and makes it really slippery. Brake nice and late, don't run too wide on the exit. You've got a really long straight here and you need to get the power down as quickly as possible. Down the back straight, setting ourselves up for a left-right chicane. This is where you're going to see most of the overtakes. Slipstream down this part of the circuit is extremely effective, but you want to be over to the right-hand side of the track before you turn into the first part of the chicane. Use all the curb in both sections to maximise your run through this. Now we're heading towards the final sector. It's a really tight, fiddly part of the circuit, but it's really important to maximise your lap time. This part of the track is cambered to help you carry the speed through here, but don't go too far to the outside, otherwise you'll end up off in the gravel. Just 2 more corners to go before we're home and free, and we're rejoining back onto the infamous circuit through the 4 chicanes, using all the track to try and get as straight a line through and get the power down as quickly as possible, and that's how you take a lap of the Le Mans Bugatti circuit. So after qualifying, it was the familiar front row of SLR Lancer and SLR Machine Head that ended up with pole and second. Row 2 is Brad Stig and Faster Alex. Row 3 is Kidders and Faruski. Row 4 sees Carlton Ben versus Pronag Racing. Row 5 has WA10 Tom and the promoted Chris Radgill. We saw him go well in the Pro-Ams, now he's up in the Pros. Row 6 is the BMW of Snapping Lamb and FER Carl in P12. Row 7 is Kinky Cowboys and Night Mike Rules. Row 8 is PMR Plato in the Soul Volvo with Celtic Fox alongside, and rounding out this 17 car field is this mark in the Sierra. So ready to go racing for the first time at Le Mans. Good start there from the Alfa Romeos. The 4-wheel drive definitely gets them off the line. A little bit better than the other cars around them. They've been way back a little bit less power with the Alfa Romeos this time around. A little bit of BOP, but it looks like Alex, the BMW, definitely has enough power to get in front of Brad Stig for 3rd place. Looking at the 2 SLR boys, Lancer in front, Machine Head 2nd. Brad is going for a massive dive on Faruski, trying to get back 4th place, and they just about got it done. Looks like there's a bit of contact at the back of the field though, so might have to take another look at that. But it's Lancer leads, Machine Head 2nd, Alex 3rd, Brad is 4th, with Faruski in the Alfa Romeo in 5th place. He head through shot for the first time. A little bit further back, you've got the 2 Alfa Romeos, the 2 Martini Alfas side by side. Kidders trying to hold off Lamb in the BMWs, the 2 Martini cars behind get into it. You've got Pronag Ben and Night Mike in front of us. We've got Lamb trying to go around the outside now of Kidders in the Samsung liveried Sierra. Quite interesting to see a modern style sponsor on such a classic car. But we've got Lamb now, goes towards the outside of Kidders. Last of the late breakers, Lamb just gets the car stopped, but Kidders just about hangs on. You see WA10 Tom in the background, he's gone backwards already. He's trying to fend off FER Carl behind. Kidders though down the back straight, up at the front though, you can see the gap that Lancer Machine Head have already started to build, with Alex and Bradders a little bit further behind. Alex and Bradders though look pretty close. There could be a move going on there for 3rd place. Looking back, Bradders has just got his nose on the inside there. Alex trying to hold on with the Sierra, gets down the inside, gets the position, Brad is in the Sierra up to third, having been the only guy to beat the Lancer Machine Heads. Alfa Romeo's Alex now falling down the order from a decent start there. He was in third, now he's back in fourth, looking square at the back of that Texaco Ford. Nightmite, Pronag and Ben going at it. Kidder's not too far behind. We know the BMWs are strong in a straight line. Ben moves out. Kidders, though, has definitely got that car set up well for straight line speed. He's hanging on to the back of this one. Ben can't quite make any inroads into the back of Pronag. There, a little bit of lag going on by the looks of it. A little bit of contact as well, maybe between the pair of them. Ben still holding it around the outside, switches back towards the inside of the chicane. Nightmite gets a little bit of a slide on there. Pronag got a bit of a slide as well, so this battle is getting even closer as you head down under the Dunlop Bridge. Down into the bottom hairpin, heading onto the Bugatti circuit. Kidders throwing it down the inside of Nightmite in front of us. You've got Lamb trying to throw it down the inside of Ben. So Kidders trying to charge through the field here, trying to get up a few positions. And it looks like Kidders has just got in front of Nightmite. Lock up from Kidders though. Nightmite's back down the inside. Kidders on the outside. Pronag needs to be careful of these two coming together. Doesn't end up firing him off as well, because that is how close it is. Kidders now right into the rear ring. It's 3 Sierras going at it with 2 BMWs a little bit further behind. Lock up there from the Sierra of Kidders as he just gets down the inside of Nightmite. Lock up further back, not quite sure what happened there. Looks like a car going on wide. But Kidders now locked now under the rear wing of Pronag, heading down the back straight. So Kidders having dispatched of 1 Sierra's going after another. The Duckham's car just is the next target for Kidders, just in front, heading through the chicane. A little bit further on, you've got Nightmite trying to get himself back in front of Kidders. Kidders got a bit of a slide on there. Nightmite got an even bigger slide on. Kidders uses all the road to try and stay on the circuit, just about hangs on. But Nightmite coming from a long way back now as Ben going down the inside of him. So Ben now trying to hold off the charging Chris Threadgill. Threadgill now trying to come back. He had a bit of a slow start. Got caught up with, I believe it was Celtic Fox a bit further behind. Now he's trying to make inroads. He's had a dominant victory at Bathurst. And he's going down the inside of Ben now, so he's really mixing it with the pros. The Pro-Am driver, he had a dominant win at Bathurst. And now he's going to throw it at the pros. He's going to show the pros exactly what the Pro-Ams can do. Drag race between the pair of them. Ben just about has the legs on the Alfa Romeo, but that Alfa definitely has a decent setup on it. As Ben just about hangs on, you've got Snapping Lamb getting into this one as well. Threadgill still on the inside. Lamb gets it all sideways behind. That's going to drop him back a little bit, so Threadgill's going to get a little bit of breathing room. Ben has to go a little bit defensive. He's worried about that Alfa potentially throwing it down the inside in the corners. The Alfas don't have the same power they had at Bathurst. And at round number 1 at Hockenheim, they've had a little bit of it taken away. It's about 13 horsepower difference to BOP. But the Alfas trying to make it all up in the corners. While in front, you've got Kidders and Pronag going at it now. Pronag's fallen down the order. He's lost a few positions on Nightmite and Kidders. They're all close in front. But Ben and Threadgill trying to drag each other into this. Looks like Snapping Lamb's dropped a little bit further back. On board with Threadgill now, heading in towards the flat out turn 1. A well set up car. This is absolutely flat out. Most guys is a tiny bit of a lift. Threadgill throws it to the inside with a bit of a lock-up contact with Pronag. Pronag spat out towards the barrier. Threadgill backs off a little bit, but that allows Ben to get back down the inside. That'll give him the move for this next corner. He doesn't need it. He's already got the move done. So Threadgill after a bit of a dive there. So Frisky now has Nightmite for company. That Alfa Romeo has been caught quite quickly by the Sierra behind it. A little bit of contact there, a little bit of rubbing, just saw the sparks flying. As he head down towards the last sector of the circuit, Nightmite not close enough to throw a dive. Pruski though not quite as hard on the brakes as he could have been there, so that's allowed Nightmite to catch up. Lock up there from the Alfa Romeo, so that might bring the Sierra into this. The Alfa's using all the road, trying to stay in front. Nightmite not quite close enough to chuck a dive though, lots of rear end locking. So he might be having to use the handbrake to get that car slowed down, so that'll probably be a little bit of a mess up on the setup there, which is causing this Alfa a few problems. But Nightmite has problems of his own as Kidders is now right under the rear wing of him, heading down through the flat out turn number 1. He might be debating a move here, but he's looking like it a little bit too far back. The Alfa though has gone really wide on the way in, so that's going to compromise their entry. Looking at Nightmite, he's caught right up to the rear wing of that Alfa Romeo. There could be a move on here a little bit further on in the lap. Nightmite though still in hot pursuit of the Alfa Romeo as he heads to double back. Oh, the Alfa's gone wide. This is Nightmite's chance. He chucked it down the inside. The gap shuts. Frisky shuts the door on him, but Nightmite now right back under the rear wing. He had his chance. Was that his only shot? You see the Alfa though pulling away a little bit on the straight. Nightmite square in the slipstream of as he head down into the chicane to start the final sector of the lap. A little bit wide from the Alfa Romeo on the exit there. Sierra's still right with him there. This could be a dive. He tried it in the previous lap. He wasn't close enough. He tries it this time down the inside. The Sierra just on the inside of the Alfa Romeo. He's on the wrong side of the track for this corner though. The Alfa's going to come back at him. Nightmike had just about holding on side by side with Fruski in the RTL Alfa. Nightmike gets the move done into the final couple of corners onto the main straight to put another lap in the book. Nightmike up a position. So Threadgill now right on the back of Fruski. They've already lost a position to Kidders in the Sierra. The Alfa versus Alfa, these cars mechanically identical, but Threadgill on his pro debut is putting in a fantastic show here. The Pro-Am driver, was an Am driver, was a Pro-Am driver, now moved up to the top class in just 3 meetings, is right on the back of a driver who's been challenging towards the front of the field for the majority of this campaign so far. The number 2 car right under the rear wing of the 19 car. Heading down the straight, he'll be looking to get the slipstream and fire through the chicane as close as he can to get the move done, potentially in the last sector. You've got to be careful. Fruski goes for a dive on Kidders. It doesn't come off. This is going to give Threadgill his chance. Kidders just hangs onto the place. Fruski stays on the track, but Threadgill gets his nose down the inside. Got to be careful of Ben maybe getting into this one as well. Threadgill down the inside, side by side with the Alfa Romeo, and just about gets in front. But it's this man, SLR Lancer, who's going to come through to take his 4th win in 5 races. He has been beaten, but he's not going to be beaten at Le Mans. Through the final corner, it's Lancer for the 4th time in the championship. Takes the victory ahead of SLR Machine Head. It's another SLR 1-2. The full results show Lancer of Machine Head 1 and 2. Bradders fills out the podium in 3rd. Alex 4th. Nightmike 5th on his pro debut. Threadgill gets 6th place. Fruski 7th. Carton Ben finishes in 8th. Kinky Cowboys in 9th. Kidders 10th. Pronag 11th. And Snapping Lamb 12th. So, as is the custom with the final race of the day, it's going to be a full reverse grid. It's going to promote PMR Plato in the Volvo onto the front row with W810 Tom alongside him. Let's head down to the grid to see how it all plays out. So lights are on, night has fallen. Good start from the Alfa Romeo. The Volvo doesn't get off the line at all. It's been swamped by the Sierras. The Volvo falling down the order already. You've got this Mark and Pronag using all the track to try and get himself into 2nd place. But look at the lead the Alfa Romeo has already. Tom and the Alfa Romeo sodded off at the front. Pronag slots into 2nd ahead of this Mark. Mark's gone wide, Mark's gone off. Looks like Snapping Lamb's just got himself in front there. Kidders as well with a good start. And it looks like one of the Alfa Romeos further behind. I believe that's Fruski's got himself up the order as well. But it's Pronag 2nd. Tom leads in 1st in the Alfa Romeo. Pronag in the Sierra 2nd. BMW of Snapping Lamb in 3rd. 3 manufacturers in the top 3 so far in this race. Snapping Lamb's been turned around there. The BMW's all sort of sideways looking up. Oh, Kidders is round as well. So it looks like one of the Sierras might have been Calvin, gets into him, and Volvo's off as well. So cars flying everywhere in the opening lap of this one. But it is Tom that leads, Pronag 2nd. Lamb holds on in 3rd. Fruski's there in 4th already. He finished in the midfield in the last race, and he's already got himself into the top 4 of this one. So he might be going for another win here. It looks like Threadgill's got himself up the order as well. And I believe that was Machine Head just flashing through the picture as well. Under lights, it can be difficult to try and pick out which car's which, but we're on board with Fruski. Look at the back. Oh, Snapping Lamb in the case pack quick fit BMW. Tom runs a little bit wide looking there, and Fruski gets through for 3rd place. Awesome dive there from the Alfa driver on the BMW, using the superior 4-wheel drive grip of the Alfa Romeo to send it into the chicane. This is Lancer trying to make his way up the order. His next target is going to be Threadgill. He had a solid run in the 1st race, but Threadgill now under pressure from the championship leader, the 4-time winner, going for a 5th win if he can pull himself through the order. But Threadgill in 6th place. This means Lancer has already got himself halfway up the field in just 1 lap's time. So if he can do this in 1 lap, imagine what he's going to be able to do in the remaining 13. He's right on the back of the Alfa Romeo behind you. In front of him, you can see the lights are flashing on board with Threadgill as the BMW runs a little bit wide, using all of the track to try and get the best run he can. But he clips the curb, he's sideways. Will this be a spin out? He just about keeps the car on the track. Threadgill still on the inside, but Lancer's going to go around the outside of the 3 of them. He's trying to make it 3 wide under the Dunlop Bridge. Just about 4 wide now, as I believe that's Bradders getting into this one as well. So Bradders, he finished 3rd, is getting himself in towards the top 6th. 3 wide, heading through the bottom corner onto the Le Mans, onto the Bugatti circuit. Snapping Lamb, the big loser in that one. He's already lost 1 place to Bradders in front. He's lost another place to Lancer, who's around his outside, and he might be about to lose the third place to Threadgill in behind him. Lancer making up places at ridiculous pace in this race. Snapping Lamb's on, he's on the grass. Will he get the car stopped? He's just about gets the car turned in. Awesome driving there to keep the car out of barriers and stay in this race, but he has lost the place to Lancer. He's now lost the place to Threadgill as well. So Snapping Lamb falling down the order. This the fight for the lead. You've got Pronag and Tom going at it. Pronag's caught right off the back of that Alfa Romeo in front. The Alphas are pretty strong, but this one seems to have a few issues. Doesn't quite like running towards the front of the field, this one. Using all of the curb, trying to stay in front of Pronag and the Sierra. These two have had comings together before in the Touring Car Series. They've had comings together in this series as well. Tom runs a little bit wide. That might invite Pronag to send it down the inside. He thinks better of it. Now he's going to lock into the slipstream. Use this power advantage that the Sierras have over the Alfa Romeo and try and out-drag that Alfa in towards turn number 1. Right on board with Pronag now. That Alfa Romeo is square in the sight. Right up onto the rear bumper, moving towards the inside of the corner. Later on the brakes, Pronag sends it for the lead. Just about gets the car turned in. Contact between the Alfa Romeo. Pronag's off wide. Fruski's through for second. It's the 19 car now. It's his turn to try and have a crack at the Alfa Romeo that leads. He's done it already. He's sent it down the inside. You've got Bradders and Lancer have got through there as well. So Tom out of the lead. Fruski's there taking the lead. So it's still an Alfa Romeo 1-2. It's potentially an Alfa Romeo 1-2-3. But Bradders is just holding on in third place. He goes to the inside of Tom. Lancer looks towards the outside. Are they going to go 3 wide through this corner? Lancer thinks a little bit better of it, but Bradders just about has to back out of the move. Heading down the back straight. Lancer side by side with Tom heading down the back straight in towards the double right-hander to lead onto the back straight. Lancer's got him. Bradders has got him. Tom shuffled out wide. That's going to allow another car through. Is that going to allow Pronag back through? Yes, it is. Bradders right out on the limit of grip, using all the track a little bit more to stay on the circuit. But he's now through for third place as Lancer now has a clear shot of Fruski for the lead. We're only on lap 2 and Lancer is already getting himself in amongst it. He's already gone for the lead. He's thrown it towards the outside. He's just about got the move done on Fruski. Has he? Not quite. The RTL Alpha's just in front. Bradders is in there as well. Bradders is down the inside. This isn't a scene we're used to seeing. Lancer about to lose a position. Pronag's up in there as well. So it's the fight for the lead. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. They're that close. Heading into the final 2 corners to put another lap in the book. Bradders sends it down the inside of Lancer. Just about has to back out of the move, but he's still there on the rear quarter. But the Alpha gets the power down and holds on to second place. Bradders now has, by the looks of it, Threadgill already challenging him for third place. So Threadgill on his debut, he's finished in the top 10 once. He's now going to go for a podium on board with Bradders. He tries to hold off from the Alfa Romeo behind him while trying to catch a pair of Alfa Romeos in front. The Alphas were supposed to be slowed down for this meeting, not going even faster, as it looks like Pronag there sent towards the outside of the track. A little bit further back, we've got the recovering Kidders. You've got Karting Ben. Looks like you've got Cowboy in there as well. Pronag's falling down the order as well, so Cowboy, this mark 3 wide into the bottom corner. These guys are brave to be going this wide into that mark. He's just getting a bit sideways there as Night Mike dragging around the outside of Cowboy in the Hornets car. Heading down to the bottom right-hander, you've got cars falling down the order, you've got cars flying up the order. Night Mike tries to fire down the inside, but it's Kidders who's about to lose the position there. He's about to lose the position to Pronag, and it looks like Faster Alex is in that fight as well. Dropping on board with Pronag, looking at the back of Night Mike in front of him. These guys are really starting to catch up with the guys in front of them. They're just putting in the lap times. You can see how quickly they've caught up to Ben in front of them, who's got Tom in front of him. So from the front row, that Alfa Romeo's falling down the order already. You've got Snapping Lamb in there as well. Cars drifting towards the outside. With the benefit of rear-wheel drive, you get some fantastic action. Looking at the back there, you've got Kidders and Mark going at it, but Pronag trying to get the place on Night Mike, heading through the final sector now. There isn't much time left in this race. And Pronag trying to get himself back up towards the front of the field where he ran early on in this stage. His next target is Night Mike. If he can get it down the inside here, thinks better of throwing a move down there. Night Mike is also looking at trying to get past Cowboy in front of him, as it looks like they're starting to swap that Alfa Romeo in front. Ben's got past the Alfa Romeo. There must be something wrong with that Alfa Romeo. Maybe a little bit of damage. He's nowhere near as quick as the guys around him in the straight. Look how quickly that Sierra's managed to just drag past him from absolutely nowhere. That Alfa must be damaged. Heading through the chicane, using all the road to try and stay involved in this one. Night Mike looks like he's been shuffled down the order a little bit. Has to use the runoff to stay involved in this one. and Tom runs wide. That's going to allow cars to swamp him, but it's a second win for SLR Lancer. He's only had one blip this season, last meeting out at Bathurst. He started last, he got through to the front of the field ridiculously quickly. These Alphas are supposed to have been slowed down this weekend, but it's not done anything for him. They're still just as quick, and these guys still know how to set them up. SLR Lancer takes the win in round number 6 of the championship. Second went the way of the Ford of Brad Stig, with third place being completed by the Alfa Romeo of Chris Threadgill. Pruski finished 4th, Night Mike in 5th, Karting Ben came home 6th. Kinky Cowboys and Killers rounded up the top 8, with Faster Alex and SLR Machine Head after damage in the opening lap, finishing the encounter in 10th. 11th from the front row with W8N Tom, then rounded out the top 12 was this mark in the Sierra. So what have those races done for the championship? Well, it's a massive lead at the moment for SLR Lancer, who leads on 444 points. Brad Stig moves up to 2nd on 381, just a couple of points in hand over SLR Machine Head thanks to that 10th place finish. Faster Alex is there in 4th place with Fruski and Night Mike rounding out the top 6. Karting Ben moves up to 7th with Kinky Cowboys in 8th, Kidders in 9th, Pronag rounding out the top 10. The next time we see the Touring Car Legends is when we make our trip back to Germany, this time on the Nürburgring GP circuit. If you like what you see and you want to see more, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to check out the AM classes which come next.